Hello, my name is Tina Rodriguez, and I'm the Business Development Manager for Inclusive Communities. I'm really happy that we get to be with you all today and still do a workshop for you, even if it is in a different way. So some learning objectives for us today is I want you to take some time and reflect on your own lived experience. We're going to reflect on ways that we can empower ourselves and empower others around us. And we're going to reflect on how we can be a positive influence on other people. So let's establish some norms before we get started. Norms are unspoken expectations. They're not necessarily rules. The difference between a norm and a rule is if you break a rule, sometimes there are consequences. Whereas with a norm, there aren't necessarily consequences for not following it, but they're always changing. An example of that is that when I was younger, no one ever wore their pajamas in public. Today, it's different. The norms that we want to practice today in our workshop is having a brave space. I want you to create space for yourself to be brave. Keep it 100, be honest with yourself, as we're going to do some self-reflection. Be open-minded, and please have a paper and pen ready. Some foundational definitions to get us started. Identity. Identity consists of the qualities, beliefs, and expressions that make a person or group different from others. Some different aspects of identity that there are. We have age, race and ethnicity, sex assigned at birth, gender identity or gender expression, sexual orientation, religion or faith, family structure, language, immigration status. So there's a lot of different aspects of identity. Those are only just a few of them. And then another definition that's important is intersectionality. So intersectionality refers to those overlapping aspects of our identity that come together and provide each of us with a really unique perspective and experience of the world. We're going to take some time so that you can reflect on your identities. So please close your eyes. I'm going to lead you through a reflection to think about your identities and the way that they impact you every day. What time did you wake up this morning? Did you wake up early to make time for prayer? Were you responsible for waking up other people in your house? Did you have to take any medication? Did you have any physical health routines to prepare you for moving throughout your day? What did you have to do to represent your gender today? Did you have to style your hair? Did you worry if you wore your hair naturally, you would be viewed as unprofessional? Did you have to style your makeup or shave? Did you have to do any binding or enhancing to make sure that you represented your gender? How do you get places? Do you take your own car? Do you rely on public transportation? Do you worry if buildings will be accessible for you? Do you have to locate an elevator? Do you worry if security will question your presence in that space? Do you worry if there will be a restroom that you feel safe using? Do you worry if there will be an interpreter for you? Did you worry if this presentation was going to be given in a language that you could understand? Are you able to focus and be present right now? Okay, go ahead and open your eyes and get out your pen and paper. And I want you to take some time and I want you to reflect on what questions stood out to you. How do you think that your mornings are different from other people your age? And why is it important to consider the mornings and the daily routines of others around us? So I want you to take 5 minutes and I want you to really think about those questions. Imagine a sunflower. How tall is it? What are the petals like? Which direction is it facing? What do sunflowers need in order to grow? What do sunflowers offer those around them? What does it do for the earth? What does it do for other plants? What does it do for animals? And what does it do for humans? So you might have imagined something like this. Sunflowers need sunlight and they need carbon dioxide that they convert into oxygen, which then they give back to the earth and the animals and the people. They also need soil and water in order to grow. Just like the sunflower, there are conditions that help you be your best. So get your pen and paper again, and I want you to reflect on when do you feel your best? Are there certain people that you really like to be around? And do they bring out the best in you? Are there spaces where you feel safe and supported? What are those feelings that you have when you feel your best? So take a few minutes and reflect on those questions. When we can identify the factors that help us power up, we can be more aware of how we can use our own abilities to then power other people around us up. Just like the sun provides energy to help plants grow, what are some ways you give your energy to other people around you? How can you be powerful today, and how can you be powerful in this time? We know that not all days are sunny and sunshine and rainbows and clouds, right? Just like sunflowers, we may have days that are stormy or windy, or we aren't getting what we need to be our best. But what we can do is choose how we want to show up for others around us. You always have the power to choose who are you going to be today and how are you going to affect those around you? How is it that you want to show up for others? And how can you be a positive force for other people? So the takeaways from today's reflection. Just like sunflowers, there are factors that help us grow and be our absolute best. If we can determine what helps us blossom and be our best, then we can pass that on to other people. When we feel our best, we are better prepared to share our energy with others. Even on days when we don't feel our best, we can still choose how it is that we want to show up for other people. We can choose how we make other people around us feel. You don't always need to be your absolute best. That is not expected of you. You're allowed to have bad days, okay? But we can help create factors that allow other people to blossom. So when you think about the way that you make other people feel, I want you to think about inclusion, and I want you to think about how inclusion has to be intentional. So we have a saying that we like to share. It is diversity is being invited to the party, and inclusion is being asked to dance. I have had times in my life where I've had a friend invite me to a party and I don't know anyone there, and then I just stand against a wall and I don't talk to anybody. That doesn't make me feel very included. But then I've had other experiences where someone has invited me and said, oh, I really want you to meet so-and-so. I think you would have some things in common. And then I feel included. I feel like I'm a part of that party or celebration. Just being in the room isn't usually enough to make people feel included or like they belong. We have to take an extra step in order to make people feel included. And a lot of times it's something really easy to do. If you can sit back and think about the times that you have felt included, it hasn't been some grand gesture. They've probably been smaller things that just made you feel special and made you feel like the very best you. How can you still be empowered even if you don't feel like it? And how can you make other people around you feel empowered also? I know that you all can do that for one another, and you can do it for yourselves.